Good afternoon and welcome to Fast Horses Today. Today is Saturday. It is October 19th and we've got some pretty good racing over at Santa Anita for a Saturday card. I've got a late pick 5 that I do like and a couple horses here to talk about. It starts in the 5th race over at Santa Anita. It's approximate post time about 5 o'clock here Central Time, so that's 3 o'clock there in the Pacific Time zone. So let's get started today. The 5th race is a mile in the dirt. It's for 16,000 claimers. Now these are, 3-year-olds and up. These are your lower rung horses there over in Southern California. But, these horses try hard and they're hard knockers. And, we like seeing the horses run there. So I've got a couple horses that I do like in this 5th race, and I want to get the pick 5 started. I'm going to go with the 2 horse who is Joint Venture for Phil D'Amato and Ricardo Gonzalez. We saw this team meet up and pair up to win the last race of the day yesterday. So, I know, as I mentioned before, I know Gonzalez works a lot of horses for the D'Amato barn. So he's definitely into that barn. And, I know he doesn't give him his top line horses, but he certainly gives him horses that he could win with. And, we saw that yesterday. So I think this is another one here. This horse is 8-5 here in the program. So he is the program favorite. And it comes off the big win last time in a 20,000 condition claimer. And, this horse just ended up taking the lead. It ran, the other horses off their feet. So, he ran a big buyer speed figure, running into this 16,000. Price-wise, it's a drop. But I don't know that it's necessarily a drop, in class. It's probably about the same nowadays over there in Southern California. So, if this horse runs anything like he did, back in his last race, he'll get it done today. I say that because, as we've seen, horses close on or close to the lead certainly have a nice advantage in these 2-turn races in these lower rungs. So, let's see if Joint Venture can get it done again at 8-5. I'm also going to put the 4 horse who is Lansdowne for Ryan Hansen and Tyler Bays. Now, this horse, came over to California some time ago to be a turf horse, and it just didn't work out there. But, this horse has certainly found a home on the dirt and found a home at Santa Anita. This horse on the dirt is 4 out of 6 winners with a second at Santa Anita. So, he had a pretty nice spring at Santa Anita, winning a couple races in sprints. So now they're going to send him long, which, probably is not a problem for this horse at a mile. He's 10-1 here. If this race, kind of falls apart, or if the 2 doesn't duplicate, Lansdowne certainly is capable of winning this race. So I've got the 2 and the 4 here to start off the pick 5. Now let's move over to the next race of the day. The next race is a 6th race. 6th race is a maiden claimer. It is a 50,000 claimer, 6 furlongs on the grass. That's the flat grass course. Now this is your, this is where the horses who can't get it done at special weights on the turf, come down to this 50,000 level over there in Southern California. We definitely have a Boulevard of Broken Dreams horse here. We're going to talk about momentarily. I've got 2 horses I'm going to put in here. I'm going to put the 9 who is Crazy Cavalier for Richard Baltus and Umberto Rispoli. Now, this is a 3-year-old facing older, but I don't think that matters as much at this time of the year. 3-year-olds have certainly grown, so, they do match up better with their elders. This horse is 6-1 in the program. This horse has run 3 times, and, what I find interesting here is why I'm going to go with him. You've got a lot of also-rans, horses who have tried special weights, couldn't get it done, tried maiden claiming, couldn't get it done, tried winners, couldn't get it done. So this horse here, the 9 horse, this horse in the first start of his career ended up running in a 50,000 maiden claiming race over at Santa Anita, 6.5 on the flat grass. So, similar to what they're doing here. The horse ended up winning, broke his maiden, got disqualified. I don't recall the race and what he did or didn't do, but got disqualified. So what did they do? They gave this horse a little bit of a break, and then Baltus ended up sending this horse up in class. And I say up in class, he ended up running with maiden special weights twice. And, didn't do a whole lot there. But I just thought that, he probably ran up against a lot better horses than what he's running today. So now he's, back in with maiden claimers, which he had gotten through this class, back last spring in May. So now he's back to sprinting, back with maiden claimers. Could be dangerous here at 6-1. So I'm putting Crazy Cavalier in here. And I'm also going to put the 10, who is the favorite, and that's Prosper. And that is your Boulevard of Broken Dreams horse. This horse, they paid $1.7 million for this horse. And, as I've said a few times now, just, over the course of the last several months, West Point Thoroughbreds is really taking it on the chin over there in Southern California. They've had a lot of horses running in the Sadler barn and just not getting it done, and not getting it done in many places, many ways. So this horse, they spend a lot of money here at $1.7 million. Now they're giving him up at $50,000. So, the horses run okay and maiden special weights, obviously couldn't get it done. So now they're moving them into a claimer here. Hector Barrios, this is a panic drop, but I just don't see a lot of talent in this race. So, Prosper, if he runs his similar races what he's done before, should be a factor here. Probably on the lead, I'm guessing, and, maybe a come and catch me. So we've got the 9 and the 10 here to get the pick 5 moved along. Now let's move over to the next race of the day. Next race is the 7th race. There's another maiden claimer. These are 2-year-olds, 5.5 on the dirt. So, these are really your bottom rung fillies. This is not Calbred. These are open company 2-year-olds. So these are horses that, their connections are already kind of given up on, trying to find probably a buyer is probably what they're looking for here. So I'm going to put 3 horses in. Not going to talk a whole lot about this race. It's just hopefully have it covered. With the 5-horse, My Catherine Rose, Alfredo Marquez is a first starter. Maldonado gets on the horse. Works are okay. They're putting a horse in, claiming. We'll see if Maldonado gets the horse out and goes, at 6-1. Going to also put the 6-horse Mujer de Oro. This is for George Parabon in the Tricar stables. This horse has had one start over at Los Al. In a maiden 50,000 claimer. Horse showed a little speed and then backed off. So, this is your next move here. That's 3-1 with Tyler Bays. And then I'm also going to put the 7-horse, who is Venice Vibe for Richard Baltas. This horse also has one start, ran over at Los Al. Kind of got a little trouble at the start of the race. And, just ran an even race. So this horse is 5-2. They put, the apprentice Orantes on this horse. Probably, maybe hoping that the weight break, that the apprentice gives gives this horse a shot to win. So we're going to put the 5, 6, and 7 in this race. All right, now let's move on over to the 8th race. 8th race is your feature of the day. It's the Lure Stakes, which is a listed stakes, mile on the grass. Nice field of horses. You've got some horses who, are graded winners and grade 1 winners, as a matter of fact. And, for one reason or another, things didn't pan out this year, and they're running in a listed stake now. So I've got 3 horses here that I want to put in. I feel like I'm going to have this covered with these 3 horses. I'm going to put the 2, who is Mana Rose, for Jeff Mullins and Edwin Maldonado. This horse has just had a fabulous year. 5 out of 7 starts were wins. The other 2 are off the board, but this horse wins or doesn't hit the board. So this horse has done it at different distances and different surfaces. So now they're trying the horse at a mile on the grass. Horse has won on the grass and sprints at Santa Anita. But they tried a mile over at Los Al on the dirt, and the horse got it done at a mile. So they probably figure a mile on the grass should be no problem, which, looks to be kind of the case here. The horse is 5-2. That would be Mana Rose. I'm also going to put the 4-horse, who is Sumter, for Richard Mandela and Mike Smith, 5-1 on this horse. Now, Sumter is kind of knocked around for the last few years in the Santa Anita grass races, or the Southern California grass races, has, faced stakes company. This horse has definitely done some nice work at Santa Anita with 2 wins, and a couple $100,000 in earnings at Santa Anita on the grass. So we know that he likes it there. This horse is 5-1 with Mike Smith. Mike Smith has done some great work at Santa Anita on their grass, this past year. I'm going to throw out his last 2 races at Del Mar. He ran in some nice allowance races there and just kind of ran some even races, but I feel like this horse is probably going to be better at Santa Anita. That would be the 4-horse Sumter at 5-1. I'm also going to put the 5-horse, who is Exalted, for Peter Urton and Juan Hernandez. Now, if you remember, Exalted was a grade 1 winner last year. Ended up winning the Shoemaker Mile, which that's their best race, of their meeting there at Santa Anita in the springtime. So this horse was a winner of the Shoemaker Mile. This year, this horse hasn't been nearly as good, but again, I'm going to, as I am with the 4-horse, I'm going to throw out the Del Mar starts Exalted had. He had 3 starts this year, once at Churchill Downs, in the Wise Dan, and then came to Del Mar and ran twice. I felt like this horse ran against a bias over there at Del Mar, but the horse, I felt ran well enough where I don't think this horse has problems. I just think, just had a little bad luck. We'll see if Urton can get this done here. This horse is 4-1 today. Exalted, 4 for 4 on the Santa Anita grass. Certainly loves the grass there. Likes the mile distance as well. 4 out of 7 winners there. So we'll see if Exalted can get it done here at 4-1. So that's the 2, 4, and the 5. All right, now let's go to the last race of the day. Last race of the day is a 6 furlong dirt race. This is for 2-year-olds, fillies as well. And this is a starter allowance race with a claim condition on there. And, ended up getting a okay field of horses. So we're going to see, what these horses end up being. These could end up being future, good performers on the circuit, or, we might not see these again. So we're going to see. I've got 2 horses here. I'm going to put the 1 horse in Don't Tell Tamo for Paula Gary and Juan Hernandez. Now, Paula Gary claimed this horse off of Doug O'Neill in a win. This horse won in her in her career debut over at Del Mar. I thought ran a pretty nice race. Showed some heart, showed a lot of just professionalism in a first race. So Paula Gary claimed this horse. Gary's a good horseman. He's just doesn't get as many chances as some of these guys, but certainly knows what to do with a horse when he gets a hold of some good stock. So this horse is 2-1 with Juan Hernandez. A horse could certainly duplicate in this starter allowance race. I'm also going to put the 5 horse was Princess Daddy for Hector Palma and Antonio Fresu. Now, welcome back, Fresu. I know you haven't been around in a bit, but welcome back. I see it. Fresu is in the entries today over at Santa Anita. Princess Daddy is 4-1 in the program. She's run 3 times already. Broke her maiden in her career debut over at Del Mar. In a decent race, and ended up running in a starter allowance race after that, and an California allowance race. So, ran some even efforts. And as I mentioned, these horses, there's not huge talent here. So this horse, her races that she's run, these even races, probably should put her squarely into play in this field. So that's the 1 and the 5 that I've got here in the last race of the day to cap off the pick 5. I'm also going to play the Turf Pick 3, which today includes races 4, 6, and 8. So let's recap the day here and go over the tickets that we've got. Let's recap here over at Santa Anita today. We've got a late pick 5 ticket, which starts in the 5th race. I've got the 2, 4 with, the 9, 10 with, the 5, 6, 7 with, the 2, 4, 5 with, the 1 and 5 on the end. And that ticket is a $36 ticket today. So, as you see fit, you can play as is, add or subtract, do what makes sense for you as well. Then I've also got a Turf Pick 3, which today includes races 4, 6, and 8 at Santa Anita. And those Turf Pick 3s have been coming back pretty well because they're $3 increments and the low takeoff. So it certainly makes a difference. It's good to take advantage of that. So in the Turf Pick 3, which starts in the 4th race, I've got the 2 and 6 with the 9 and 10, and that's in the 6th race, with the 2 or 5, and that's in the 8th race. Now that ticket comes out to be $36 as well. So as I mentioned, you could, if you see fit, play as is, add or subtract. Whatever you decide to do, I'm wishing you the best of luck today and the best of trips because that results in great luck. And let's wish the folks over at Santa Anita a great, safe day of racing. And, as always, I ask you to do me a favor, hit that subscribe button for me. It doesn't cost you anything. It just puts you on the feed. When new content comes up, it gets served up to you. So I appreciate that. Like, dislike, make comments. I'd like to hear from you. We'll create a discussion. So as always, I thank you so much for watching. And let's make it a great day at Santa Anita, the great race place. See you soon.